Salta, 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 pequeña langosta. Quiero alejarme de ti toda costa. Salta, 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 pequeña langosta. Que hay un maremoto bailando tu lado. Why am I talking about a maremoto when I should be talking about a terremoto? What did we have recently here in the Southland, Fredo?
We had an earthquake.
We had an earthquake. Vandal Drummond and Fredo Esparza weathered an earthquake.
We are survivors.
Yes.
We are survivors.
I should be singing that Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive song.
People should be thankful we're doing this podcast, considering how we're practically in the epicenter of earthquakes.
The earth rocked our houses.
We shouldn't even joke. It might happen.
Yeah, we might get a bigger one. We might get swallowed up. We might get another Northridge. Well,
this is the only podcast where there's a slight chance it could be the last podcast.
It could be.
That's
it
why
very well could be.
We will. That's why we never ended Slam and Stand, because
that's right.
It could have been the last one. It maybe won't be.
That's right. The Earth could swallow us up one day. That's what California is all about. You're always living on the edge in California. Hi, I'm Vandal Drummond and I'm Fredo Esparza. Obviously, this is LuchaWorld, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Well, the earthquake, was it bitchin'? You felt it more than I did, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. It was pretty. It was pretty rough for it, but it wasn't your usual earthquake. 10 seconds of thinking you're going to die,
and wondering if it's going to stop.
Yeah, wondering if it's going to stop, and then as soon as it stops, you pretty much spend about, I think, 24 hours just wondering if there's going to be another one. Yeah, which there was, like the following day.
I felt that one actually,
like around 4 o'clock. Wasn't it the next day on Saturday? And then, like, right after that, there hasn't been anything since then, so...
Yeah, just all these aftershocks I think they only feel it, like, in Fullerton and La Habra.
If it's a 3, you're not going to feel it if you're not in
there. Right.
Basically, if you've been in an earthquake, you know, if it's under 4.5, you're not really going to, like, feel it unless you're in the epicenter.
Exactly.
If it's over 5... that's when you start really feeling it. Actually, the worst one was the 7 with in Northridge.
The Northridge one is...
We're not that close to... We're not.
Yes, that was the heaviest earthquake I had ever felt.
Yeah.
The Whittier earthquake in 87, that was the one that... It wasn't the biggest one, but I was showering in a very tiny room in our old apartment, and there was no windows, so the room was like this tiny box, and it felt like a giant picked up the room and it was shaking it just to scare me.
Fortunately, Kurt found a towel.
A towel.
Just in time to make sure. Make sure anything happens, he's covered.
That's right. No pun intended. Yeah. Yes. Well, lots of stuff going on. First, as you were mentioning...
this week's big show, right? We're going to talk about the week.
There's a really big show Sunday.
Yeah, huge show on Sunday that starts around 4 o'clock. I mean, our time.
It's one that so many people are going to be seeing.
So many big matches on that card, too.
Exactly.
I mean, careers will change.
And of course,
Sunday.
Where does it take place? It takes place at Arena Coliseo.
Yeah, 71st anniversary show.
Absolutely. This is the show you don't want to miss.
Big matches. A mini is going to lose his mask on Sunday night.
Oh my God! Okay,
we are going to have
you
to
must
see
watch it.
Face.
Yeah. Yes, you'll see some great wrestling. Can we see the whole thing on Terra.com Sunday?
Maybe.
We might be able to.
At this point, Terra.com is a maybe, considering they're always screwing up.
So Terra.com is what Johnny Legend would call like a pay-per-view station. Like if you remember to pay your cable bill, you get to watch it.
Yeah, they actually changed their... Hold on, let me go get something.
Okay, while he's going to go get something...
They actually changed their website.
Yeah, while he's getting...
They changed their website, so basically now it's like this new, I don't know, this new theme or something where they have this new design. So now we can't find it.
They want to make it like an Easter egg hunt. They want to pretend their channel is a DVD. Now, while Fredo's doing that, I also want to say, for those of you not interested in watching wrestling, there is WrestleMania this Sunday taking place at Buffalo Horns, Montana.
And remember, if you're not part of the WWE network,
you don't get to watch it.
You have to pay $60 or I think $70 to watch it.
Yeah,
one show for like.
I think Barney's Eatery in the city of Buffalo Horns, Montana, is hosting it, and if you can't go to it live, I think they're having it like at the Roadhouse at the old drive-in theater. But if you can't go to it there...
Did you hear that?
Yes, I heard.
The sound of...
I love the sound of a computer waking up in the morning. It smells of victory. Funny how a sound can smell.
Oh, Mark Cole informs me that his hotel can't get internet.
Wow. Prices in Montana are going up.
It can get internet, he just can't get Terra. That doesn't sound very promising.
That does not sound promising. So what's he going to do on Sunday then?
Well, he's going to have to go to WrestleMania, I guess.
Okay.
It's in New Orleans.
I do also want to say that is the coolest shirt you have.
Oh, thanks. Wonder where other people can get cool shirts like that.
I heard other people can get cool shirts like that at Designs by Humans. Or Designed by Humans.
You ruined that.
I ruined it, didn't I? I'm having fun. Are you?
Yeah, and they could find the banner on our website, too.
Yeah, find the banner on the website. And in all seriousness, these guys make some of the coolest shirts. And for me, who everybody knows...
They actually have, I think, 3 lucha shirts on their website.
Do they really?
Yeah, but they're not really that particular.
Nothing to write home about.
I mean, one of them, I want to get one because it's like a poster, a lucha poster, and it has like a dinosaur beating up a luchador.
Oh, awesome.
I think and then one of them is just a bunch of lucha masks. Then they have one that they say is a lucha mask, but it's like the Day of the Dead mask. So, but it doesn't.
It doesn't really count. Doesn't
really count.
Well, that shirt that you got me, the really cool cat shirt you got.
The one I always wondered if you liked because you wouldn't wear like for a couple of months. I think.
I have to tell you,
although it wasn't your fault because I think when I gave it to you was like I think the last show that we went to like for MPW. Right? Because I think we haven't gone to a lot of wrestling.
Because it was lost in my gym bag for a while.
Oh, really?
No, I have to tell you, I wear that to work.
Oh, that's good.
And I have a government job, folks. I work for the county of Orange.
Kurt has a government job, and he wears blue Villano t-shirts to his
I have.
Job. He wears Guerrero Maya Jr.
I have. Totally.
So, Cecilia, if you're listening to this, your shirt is being worn at government
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes I dress totally in purple at work.
Yes.
And that's not a joke. I really do.
Those of us in LA will tell you that's the truth. Steve Sims, if you guys see Steve Sims in New Orleans, he will vouch for Kurt Brown wearing all purple.
Exactly, yes.
Uh-oh.
What's he doing in New Orleans?
WrestleMania.
I thought I was in Montana. No. I'm really confused now.
Oh my god, this is completely...
Is Montana near...
Look at the new design for Terra.
Oh, geez, it has arrived, it says. It has arrived! The new Terra, the new Earth.
Well, the good news...
The new Terramoto.
The good news is they don't ask you if you want to go to Mexico or the U.S.
Oh, but I was starting to tell you...
That's right on the front page.
I was starting to tell you that cat t-shirt you got me gets more... Oh, they redirected you.
Yeah, but it's right on the front
And they even
page.
have USA right there, huh?
But the Lucha's right there.
Very cool. The cat shirt you got me, I get more compliments on that shirt than any other shirt I wear. No joke.
Oh, really? Cool.
They love that shirt. And
well, when I saw it, I was like, man, it's a cool shirt. Like, for you, it works for you.
It does.
Not that it wouldn't work for
me. Well, I'm
too.
such a cat man.
Yeah, it's something that it represents. That's what I thought. I go, this is Kurt. Mm-hmm. And it was called Cool Cat, too, so I was like, hey, that...
It was, and I seriously, I even get... The shirt that previously I got the most compliments on was, of all things, my Ramones shirt. Just the basic Ramones logo.
The Ramones shirts always do well.
Yes, they do, but I get more compliments on the Cool Cat shirt than I do on any other shirt I've worn, and I've worn a lot of funky shirts.
I should apologize to people because I'm actually trying to get Terra to work right now.
Yeah, so you can listen to us watch Terra.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Let me lower the volume, guys. Sorry. This is going to get us in trouble. Like playing.
I think we're losing listeners right now.
No, I think we're going to get in trouble for playing Terra.com.
Playing the audio on our show?
Yeah. Well, they had Cubs fan remove all his videos.
Oh, you told me about that, yes.
It's very slow. Why is it so slow?
I don't know.
Oh, it switched over to Alta.
They know we're watching. They know who we are. Everybody's watching us. I think we should get on to some lucha or we're going to lose our folks. Now,
well, we are getting on lucha.
Well, let me talk about what really excited me is when I was surfing the web last night. I was when I saw the Rush versus Shocker match, which we will talk about in greater detail in a minute. But I was stoked to just stumble upon a match with Trio Fantasia And I was expecting Super Muñeco, Super Raton, and Super Pinocho. But there was Super Muñeco, there was Super Raton, and Super Raton Jr. It was so bitchin'. Seeing two Super Ratons right next to each other. And I first saw Super Raton wrestle Ricky Boy at the Olympic Auditorium in 1987. And I must say, he's heavier now.
Come on.
And over 25 years older. But he's still, I wouldn't say he's, what he was in 1987, but he still moves. For a guy who's gained a lot of weight and aged a lot of years, he still moves.
They had a kind of fun match with, they worked a lot of independents. They worked with, I think it was the ATM group called the ATM. I don't know what they're.
That's a cool name.
No, I don't think it's the ATM. It was another group. Yeah, I think it was Cerebro Negro's group. In IWL, it was a pretty good match. Like, just the bloodbath.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
It was all right. It wasn't that great, but...
But
I like how I started it off being
in fact, that was
good.
the group.
Wasn't that great? I should mention...
Before we started, that's the group I was talking about. Remember you were asking me what group I saw, and it was IWL.
Oh, IWL. Okay, then. Who did you say you saw in IWL?
Super Raton.
Okay, yeah, then that's them. It's that show.
And okay, well, of course, being an old man, I kind of dug it because I dug how very...
Magnus with a new outfit. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that is nice. It's turquoise everywhere.
I switched it. For those wondering how I'm watching Terra this week, I'm watching it on Baja because I'm on Wi-Fi right now. And apparently it's like slowing down.
So what I loved about that TV was remind me...
You haven't seen him, right? Kamatachi.
No, I haven't. I'm just scared we're going to be Meltzering.
Kamatachi. No, we're talking about Lucha. Kamatachi's. He's the Japanese dude who's doing the fighting squirrel gimmick.
Oh, cool.
I hate that spot.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
They put him on, and then they drop kick him, and then it's like, how many times can you possibly do that? Okay, so back to the Trio Fantasia.
Yeah, what I dug is it reminds me of whenever I would turn on Lucha Libre on Channel 22 when I was a little kid. Before they started airing Titanes and El Ring, they would just air random shows from somewhere in either Mexico or South America, and it was kind of like Calgary where there would only be one or two camera positions. Uh-huh. But that's how I started watching wrestling. That's how I liked it. And that's what this show does. I think there's only two camera positions. And I dig it. I know most people think oh, this really sucks. But to me, it was nostalgic.
I always laugh when people want stuff to look a lot better because of how WWE or television in general.
Do they know how much money that costs?
It's that's not how it works in Mexico.
Exactly.
I remember when people would be do they have HD TV and cameras in Mexico? And I go, dude, you got to find somebody who actually has access to that stuff to help you out. I know when Kevin Kleinrock went to Mexico, when they went to Mexico to do the whole Lucha, Viva la Lucha thing, they actually got it through the TVC Deportes guys, because they're not just going to find a company that's going to have all that stuff.
Yeah. Now, I'd actually like your take on something.
Who's going to win the Arena Coliseo mask match? Who's going to lose?
I would like to know that.
Actually, I don't know.
Oh, great.
Probably going to be Pequeño Halcón.
Okay. Pequeño Halcón. There you have it, folks. So, put your odds in the Vegas books.
The Falcon is...
I heard a recent podcast, and I can't remember which one it was, but...
Was it Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast?
I wish it was. Awesome. I haven't heard it yet.
Jericho's?
I haven't heard Jericho's.
Brian Alvarez?
It was one of the Brian Alvarez. Okay. What other podcast do I listen to besides...
With Todd Martin?
Train's coming. Get down!
See, that's why sometimes you don't feel the 3.0 earthquakes here, because the train passes.
Yeah, the train shakes.
Basically, it shakes at the level of a 3.0
It totally rocks the house. It totally rocks the house.
Even if you have the laundry on, it's it's gonna
exactly.
Rock.
Now,
okay, back to the...
They were talking... They seemed so... Oh, it was... I believe it was the last Steve Sims appearance. Mm-hmm. And everybody was so surprised that MMA has not taken off in Mexico. Now, I'm not following the trends very much at all, as you know, of anything. Whether it be
what's
lucha.
The first rule of doing a podcast with me?
Don't talk about MMA. Yeah. But I think that you'd find this fascinating because...
Just kidding. What were you going to ask me?
Well, I'm not surprised it hasn't taken off in Mexico. Are you shocked?
It didn't take off right away in the U.S. either.
Right.
I mean, it had a point where it got hot, like when it first started. I think there was like a certain.
It was almost like a novelty. It was a fad.
And then there was a point where it just stopped, and they got hot again.
Yeah.
I think that's what. I mean, Mexico's still boxing. I think boxing might be more popular than that right now.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm surprised too because MMA, Mexican fans love that stuff. That I think it's gonna depend on who they find as a Mexican fighter who people can root for. Because I don't know. I don't follow mixed martial arts. Is there any Mexican?
No, Mexican American maybe.
And that's where there's a divide.
Yeah.
I mean, I was laughing because I don't know if you read the story on Blue Demon Jr. getting upset
about Rey Mysterio not being Mexican enough.
Yeah. And that's what I'm referring to. Like, like a lot of us, there's certain levels. Like if you're Mexican, there's certain levels where you're not Mexican enough.
Well, when Cain Velasquez won, I remember there was somebody I know at work was jazzed because she says, "I was so tired of people saying, 'Oh, aren't you excited that Tito Ortiz won?'" And that worker said, "He's a coconut." Probably not a very correct term, but that's what they said. I thought it was pretty rude, actually.
Well, it's funny because even with us that are like from here, born and raised as Mexican Americans, there's still that divide where if you speak Spanish, and then there's the ones that don't speak Spanish. There's like that divide. Like within our family, it's like we get along with them, but if they can't speak to the Spanish-speaking family, it's like it's just awkward,
right?
So so like even like when we're
so even with no intentions, there's a block.
Even like lucha shows, I was surprised. Like Steve Payne doesn't know a lot of Spanish. The guy who's working in AAA, and I was like, man, how do you go? It makes it even more impressive that he went to Mexico on his own dime to go like.
That is impressive. That's brave. I don't think I would have done that.
I mean.
Give it to him.
If it was a guy who spoke Spanish, like if Superboy went to Mexico and did that, or like some dude like that, it wouldn't be that shocking.
Right.
Like, a guy who doesn't speak Spanish, that's pretty impressive. Like
that is impressive. Yeah. But one of the reasons I guess I was surprised is and of course I don't know about mixed martial arts, but I have the impression that it's a pricey thing to promote and a pricey thing to train with.
Because I think with lucha, I mean, your basic run of the mill, like small mom and pop type of indie shows, it's not going to cost you as much as an MMA show because MMA guys are although there's a lot of underground MMA shows that aren't.
But they suck.
Yeah, but
I saw tapes of them, and oh my god, really? It's not. It shouldn't even be called MMA.
Is it worse than indie lucha?
Yeah, it is.
Like the bottom rung. Indie lucha?
It is. No, I can't remember. Was it King of the Cage? It was one of the local ones that's on a casino. Or not a casino, on Native American ground, but promoted at a casino.
That's racist.
That is very racist that they have casinos, yes. Okay, coconuts to casinos.
I think we've covered everything.
Yes, we have. We've said every bad thing tonight, and we're going to say much worse
But right now
things.
watching Starman beating up Sangre Azteca.
Sangre Azteca. Now, Sangre Azteca does need a good ass kicking. Yeah. That's what he needs. No, but I will... No, the low-level MMA, I didn't realize until I actually saw some very low-budget television how painful it is to watch.
Did you ever watch Rings and that Spanish channel? Do you remember? You never watched
about
that?
15, 16 years ago?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes.
I used to love watching that stuff, and I'm not an MMA fan. I just loved watching I think, and they even would show UFC sometimes. They showed Don Fry beating up some really
that was a really weird show.
Yeah. It was on Channel 22, I think. Remember, I would just like watch it. I was just like, that's where I saw Don Fry, and I was like, man,
and sometimes
mesmerized by Don Fry because it's so badass.
And sometimes they would show a fight somewhere, like in Brazil, but you had no idea where it was. You've never heard of any of the guys on it.
You know the weirdest ones were when they were like in Norway or like one of those countries that, and they would have like their fighters, and it's like, why are these guys on Spanish television?
I almost think that whoever did it, I bet you they weren't authorized to air the show even. I bet you they just collected a bunch of. It's
Rings. It was Rings. It was like, how do they even know about Rings? Like of all the promotions.
It would have been if like all the legendary tape collectors back then, like Jeff Lynch, put all their tapes together and put them on TV, not worried about the copyright.
Back in the 80s and 90s, you could get away with doing that. Remember how many like a lot of guys did like those what are those small channel what do they call the small channels that public access
yes
channels. They would do like shows like an hour, and they would show actually highlights of matches and stuff like that.
That's right. A lot of guys did that.
I know a lot of guys who like try to get me to like provide content for them, and I was like, guys, you guys realize there's a reason
you could get nailed.
Stay underground.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the whole WWE thing. Like when people like they want to mess around with WWE. No, you don't mess around with WWE. You kind of like
they'll come get you and they'll own you.
Yeah.
Well, because I told you how Martine Cardigan's daughter wrote. When I first started corresponding with her, told me how somebody stole a whole bunch of tapes, not just the Titanes and El Ring tapes from the TV studio in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, but also a bunch of variety shows.
Oh, wow.
And
that's probably how they caught him.
They know how they caught him?
For the
his house burned down.
Oh. Okay.
And all the tapes with it.
Oh.
Well, I forget what the guy's name was, but it made sense to me.
La Momia.
La Momia. There's no fire. La Momia strangled him.
He walks out as the fire's going on. He walks out.
Martine said,
with all the tapes burned. his grand finale.
In 100 years, there'll be a tomb in Argentina with all the Titanes tapes with La Momia.
La Momia's hand sticking out like.
Yeah. Martine said, La Momia está durmiendo. Let's wake him up and get the tapes.
His revenge.
No, but when I was a kid, it confused me because in the TV guide, it was listed as Titanes en Acción. Mm-hmm. And they had a whole different opening to the show than they did in Argentina. But I didn't know that as a kid. I just thought that's what the show was called. But it dawned on me when she told me that, like, that's why they changed the name of the show, because this guy probably put a new entrance onto the show, or intro, I should say, and sold them.
Old days.
Yeah, he probably sold.
The good old days of just bootlegging somebody else's.
And what made even more sense is I came across a TV guide from 1975, and there was a comedian there named Jose Marone, who was like a big deal, and he had a show. I think it was called just like the El Show de Jose Marone. But here in L.A., where I remember it being aired, it was called La Vuelta de Marone. Its title was changed too, and I always wondered if.
Well, there's a lot of a lot of the shows that you see from Mexico. They come here or they're filmed here. Like you'll see like a lot of stuff. Like I think like a lot of you're seeing a lot of CMLL talent. Show up on TV Azteca. But it's not that they're on TV Azteca. They're on TV Azteca over here, like Azteca America.
Yeah, but this was definitely from Argentina. This definitely.
Oh, really?
So I always wonder if that's why the guy stole them, is so he could.
Because you wanted to voice over on them. Huh?
I'd love to voice over. Are you kidding?
Here comes.
That'd be like my dream come true.
Speaking of momias, we should talk about Sin Cara. Just kidding. I don't watch chess.
I hate to say it like this, but. He went from being Wrestler of the Year, the first luchador to become Wrestler of the Year, to what he is now.
It's amazing that story keeps on going. It's like I told you, everybody, like the last show, what was going on.
In fact, keep us up to speed because
so the latest update came from Meltzer on. Well, actually, the first story came that Joey Styles tweeted. I think it was Joey Styles and WWE. I think the WWE Twitter account also did it. And they wished him well in his future endeavor. I think it was last week, not this week, but the previous week. And then Dave Meltzer's Observer newsletter this past week, he wrote that apparently he still has 90 more days of non-compete.
Right.
Until June 26th is probably the earliest he could get out, but he's still getting paid, which I think is kind of weird. I'm kind of curious if there might be something more to the name. Maybe that's why he's still using the name.
Possibly.
But there might also be that they don't want like a lot of issues with it. Maybe they just want to settle something down. They're trying to settle something and just keeping it going along. So all the promoters that were... I tweeted this. And right as I tweeted this, the guy who... he doesn't promote the shows. He actually promotes the building and works for the TV network. Multimedios.
Okay.
He posted a flyer. And now he posted a new flyer. Only it's not Averno's not on this one. Now it's Sin Cara teaming with his brother Argenis and Cibernetico versus the Psycho Circus, which I'm sure is going to be a thrilling match. Which you know, if you haven't seen these guys wrestle, it's not going to be a pretty match. It's not going to be. That's Sangre Chicana's daughter, Lluvia.
Oh, that's her.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We were talking about it the last show, the last time you were over.
Cute.
Actually, we were on the phone when we were talking about it.
I was going to say, I don't remember seeing her. I said my memory's bad, but not that bad.
So then they post the flyer for that, and so now all the flyers are coming out again. But it's like it's weird because if he still has that non-compete clause, I'm kind of curious if it just means TV.
I don't know,
because it could be just for TV, and I'm guessing maybe that's what. That's probably why the Monterey stuff will probably not be showing up online.
Right. I also wonder. I mean,
TV.
I don't know how big a deal. Like how big a deal would it be to WWE to actually go after them legally in an international lawsuit? I don't know. Is that a complex thing?
I have no idea. I'm not.
Eric Anderson, Bob Barnett, where are you?
Ask Steve Sims, he could look it up.
Okay.
He would actually do the research.
Dolores Blassingame, we need you. Lawyers everywhere.
Here comes Dallas. Oh,
and we just saw Goya Kong.
Yeah, Dallas.
Goya Kong, who we have said is a very large girl with a beautiful face.
Well, that's
true.
I was watching this one show, and the dad was being very mean to the daughter because she was overweight, and she lost weight. And I was like, well, she's actually attractive. She had a pretty face. So I go... But it's not the right thing to do. You don't.
You said, Dad, you should love her no matter what. If you're his kid,
I mean, she looks.
You could lose all the weight,
attractive.
and you still know that your dad's a dick.
Because some women who are a little overweight, they're attractive.
And there are also guys who like big women too.
No, but they're attractive too. Like there's some.
Yes,
I
agree.
There are some women that they lose weight and they look a lot better.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay.
And there's some women who look good big, and there's guys. No, let's keep talking about it. There's guys like Robert Crumb who can appreciate a woman with big, strong legs and a big tuchus.
For those listening, we're watching the
women wrestling. Yes.
The ladies of Polanco.
We can never get enough women's wrestling in CMLL.
Actually, we can.
No, we can't. We need more.
We need less.
All women, all the time.
I dig Princesa Blanca, though. I think it's so stupid that they come out to single ladies. It's like, these women are... First of all, she's not single.
Yeah, that is kind of teasing the fans. So they're working us. They're working us, goddammit.
Well, it's not even a work.
They're swerving us.
It's not even a work.
They're swerving us.
It's not even a work, because we already know that she's married to Felino. It's a pretty public thing. It's in the reality TV series.
They're still teasing us.
Yeah. So...
Blank out.
Sin Cara, I have no idea, because the other thing is like AAA. AAA like did the whole thing showing his shadowy figure at the end of a show, like in February? Sometime in February.
Yes.
So you're gonna have to wait March, April, May, June, 4 to 5 months to bring him back again. I mean, that seems kind of like like I was telling you, a lot of promoters rushed.
That's
because I think. What I think happened was that he started like trying to bargain a new deal with other promotions.
Yes, and I'm sure he's playing hardball.
And he was using the WWE to like get more out of whatever promotion worked out a deal with him. And I think it kind of screwed up.
And
the whole plan.
I understand. Okay, as I do understand the whole complete non-compete clause, there's a lot of speculation how long it actually is. There's no definite answer how long it is.
Yeah.
People are...
Because there's some guys who last longer than... Like, you never see them for, like, 90 days. It's actually longer, like, 120 days. Sometimes you don't see them for, like, a full year.
And to be honest, if I was getting paid to stay home, I would take advantage of it.
I would stay home.
Yeah. Then again, maybe Sin Cara's injuries...
You know what you would do? You do what Teddy Hart did. Just sit at home.
Just go nuts.
Play video games and get high.
Get high and jump off your house.
That was what he did when he got his deal.
I believe it.
And I was like, dude, I believe that. It's Teddy Hart.
That Lanny Poffo,
still
Poffo made a fortune working for WCW by not wrestling.
Still one of the greatest emails I ever got, Teddy Hart's email. Crazy. He is quite the character.
Have a whiff on me. Yeah, come on, everybody, have a whiff on me. Now, if anybody knows what that song is, have a whiff on me. Write me at Liger, Lyger, at AOL.com, and I will send you a LuchaWorld t-shirt.
We should mention that
nobody's going to write you
the
assholes.
Rey de Reyes show that I just watched. I haven't watched the last 2 matches.
Okay.
But I watched the first 5. First of all, it's so funny. I was watching the AAA Rey de Reyes intro, and I don't know if you noticed, the first video that showed up for CMLL's Dos Leyendas show was a dance sequence that featured Fuego.
Yes.
Dancing to his entrance song. So, what song does AAA use on Rey de Reyes to open their show? The same song that Fuego uses. Yes.
No way.
And I was like, so I'm thinking, first of all, actually, the choreography was way better in CMLL, because they actually did the AAA was more like them, just like 3 girls just...
being funky.
Yeah, being like like stripper dancing, it wasn't like a choreographed thing. So it's like, I'm watching this like, how many songs can there possibly be that are hot right now in Mexico where you're just picking El Coco No? That's the one song. And it's like, and it's even stupider for AAA because, I mean, that's the song that's identified with Fuego in Mexico. That's actually something he uses. Like, that's his song. He comes out, dances to it. That's his song. Don't use that song.
I was wondering if they're snickering, thinking that it would be a rib on him or something like that.
I say that, and Pegaso comes out to El Consejo's music. So it's just weird. Like, I would try to like not use music from somebody else.
I would try.
There's millions of songs out there,
I mean, yeah. I know you're in competition and stuff, but I really think you should, for the most part, ignore what they're doing and try to promote your own shit.
Well, you know, but it's weird because I think it was funny because AAA did their show ahead of Dos Leyendas. It was the week before that, and for them to both use it, it's like, what a coincidence.
Yes.
So then, Rey de Reyes. What I did, I know Conan said the first 5 matches were good, and I would agree with him. The Relevos de Locura match, the one that has the midget, it's a midget, an exotico, a regular dude, and the woman. I actually thought that they've had better matches than the one that aired on that show. Because there was some stuff where it was just like, oh my god. Because Sexy Star, like, there were points where she was like the one in charge of the whole match, like just dominating.
Oh, she was leading the whole thing?
Like, dude, she was giant swinging Dinastia.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, seriously, how the hell do you have... Mamba and Pimpinela were really good. Dinastia versus Charlie, mini Charlie Manson was good. I even think Sexy Star was okay. Fabi was okay as usual. But I mean, there was moments in the match where they all got into the ring and it just was like a giant clusterfuck.
Wow.
But it was all right. It was like the end of it was really good because it was they all got rid of each other, and it ends with Pimpinela and Mamba like, slapping each other, and then they're going for near pinfalls, and then at one point Pimpinela is going to climb on the top rope to give a drop kick. So Mamba is standing up. For whatever reason, the ref ends up grabbing Mamba to get him up, and Mamba does this scream, like screams like ah. And he moves, and Pimpinela drop kicks the ref. Okay, this is where I thought was kind of like a stupid spot. Mamba runs over to like check on the ref.
Yes.
The ref just got drop kicked. Pimpinela comes from behind, rolls up Mamba for the pin, and the ref counts like the fastest count ever. And I'm like thinking, why is he doing a fast count if he's a heel referee?
Heel referee and a babyface just kicked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
So I was like, that seemed like really stupid. But I mean, other than that, the highlight was Pentagon Jr. Pentagon Jr. comes in and proceeds to, like, they're all standing in a line, and he comes in and chops all 4 of the Technicos.
Oh my god!
And then he powerbombs Fabi Apache, and like does because him and Sexy Star teaming up to feud with Fabi Apache and Drago. So that actually should be a good match. They're doing a 3-way, and then they had what was the next match? Trying to think. I know I wrote it down.
We're doing us on the fly tonight, folks.
We usually do this on the fly. There's no planning.
We don't ask for your forgiveness, but we are doing this on the fly. But we do not ask for forgiveness. Well, I would like to.
While you're keep up with Rey de Reyes.
Okay, we'll do Rey de Reyes. No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. I
gotta look this up.
I have to say, when you're talking about turning into a cluster, I did see the initial. Torneo Cibernetico.
Yeah.
Where I think it was 10 or 12 of the youngsters.
16. You were watching CML's Torneo Cibernetico for the Final 8 going into
it was on Cubs fan site. And the reason I sound so sketchy on it is I had to watch it without sound because I had to watch it in breaks at work today, and I couldn't crank it loud at the workstation. But
kind of like what we're doing right now.
It is a match that, with so many people involved and so many of them being so young, I would think it would be a cluster, but no.
The only one that I think the only ones that are really experienced are Hechicero. Actually, Metallico's experienced, and he's the one that got hurt. He got hurt in the match. Him, Metallico, and Guerrero Negro Jr. Although Guerrero Negro Jr. is like, he's experienced. You know how he's Poder Infernal experienced, where he's experienced, but he does a lot of stuff that's like, why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that? Yes. You're not ready to do that yet. But no, this was fun to watch it, and it's normally what you would call a spot fest, but with so many people working, and considering how many younger guys are working this big a match, it looked more like a fireworks show. Guys flying everywhere, nailing each other, and every now and then there's a little spot of confusion, probably just because of, a little greenery, but for the most
part... Some of those guys were really green, I think...
But it worked.
Star Junior's really new on that.
Yeah, and there's areas where it showed, but it was a really, really exciting match, and I'm going to sound like the biggest mark saying this, but when Oro Jr. does...
the Palanca?
Yeah.
When he climbs up top of him?
Yeah, I actually get a chill. I mean, it's
an awesome spot.
There's something moving about it. I mean, because he does it just like Oro did,
He's really good. But I think he's gonna be the one that they try to push next year.
Really?
I think because this year I think they have so many. They're bringing in so many guys that it's like at some point it was funny because I was reading on Twitter and Apollo Dantes posted the lineup for Guadalajara and Hijo de Fantasmas tweets him back. Hijo de Fantasmas just left CMLL, very opinionated on CMLL now that he's in AAA.
Yes,
and he's like. And he noticed Hijo de Signos in the second match. And he's like, Hijo de Signos too low. And I'm like, I was going to tweet him back, have you seen Hijo de Signo wrestle? And I thought, I'm not going to write that. Because he's going to think I'm a dick. But you know what it is? I think a lot of wrestlers, because they're friends or this guy's experienced or something, they're very bad judges of what a wrestler is. You know what I mean? It's very not everybody's a very good judge of wrestling.
No, they aren't, and they also don't, and also a lot of things don't take into account what's he like in the dressing room. Does he work well with others? Does he bitch and whine at the promoters? There's a lot of reasons guys who are good won't get pushed.
But see, Signo, when he first got there, he kind of he was very green looking. And they had this really good match with Rey Cometa. But the reality was that Rey Cometa is really that good.
Rey Cometa carried it.
Yes, he's really good. He made a very good... And it was a lightning match. It was only 6-7 minutes long. But then as you see him more, you kind of started noticing, I can see why he's not really that pushed. Because he's really not that... He's not that... There's really good talent, and there's guys who are very basic looking. Yeah.
Well, I bet you go to another promotion, you probably get brownie points from that promotion for bagging on the other promotion. Yeah. Or at least you think you'll get brownie points. I mean,
so I should talk about the Daga match.
Yes.
Because it was funny because they do this video where he's talking about why he hasn't been defending the Cruiserweight title. And he's like, the reason I'm not defending the Cruiserweight title is because there's no competition in AAA. So then he's like, so then I asked Dorian Roldan he said, he asked Dorian Roldan to ask AAA to pick their 3 best wrestlers to be in this 4-way match. So they have Argenis, Superfly, and Australian Suicide. And this match, the first 8 minutes is very one of those matches where it's just spot fest. I didn't really like it at first, but then once that 8-minute or 9-minute mark got going, they did some stuff that, I mean, first of all, they did a backcrack. Argenis did a backcracker off of top rope on Australian Suicide. That looked very awkward. That was when the turning point kind of started. Okay, that's it. I was like, man, this is going to get really bad. But actually, the best part was that Daga was eliminating everybody. And, this is a guy who, 3 years ago was, hot shit in the independent scene. And, all of a sudden, he was in anything in AAA. So I thought, you're going to get him over. He eliminated all 3 guys. The match was okay. Then they went to the... I'm trying to remember. They didn't show Fabi running in and suplexing Daga.
That's a shame. That was such a great photo.
Yes.
That's a beautiful photo, as a
matter
of fact.
I was just realizing that while I saw the picture right now.
How could they eliminate that?
I was like, how do you get rid of that? After that, it was Chessman versus Villano IV. If you love a bloody brawl...
Is that the match?
This is the match that you have to watch.
Isn't that the match that I heard about where
Conan said that was the best match?
Yeah, going into it, the fans weren't jazzed, but once it took place, they loved it.
They weren't thrilled because Blue Demon Jr. couldn't be on the show.
Yeah.
And I thought, not for anything, but Blue Demon Jr. can't lace up Villano IV's shoes on his best day. I think they were just bummed because it was a title match that had been planned and had been booked way in advance.
Right.
And Blue Demon Jr. couldn't make it. So then Villano IV comes in. They just beat the crap out of each other. They just had slap. Well, it starts with Chessman talking about how Blue Demon Jr. didn't show up because what was that? What he said? Oh God, I can't remember. It was a good line. I can't remember what he said, but it was this really good line. And Villano IV gets upset about it. He shows up. He goes over and he's like, he slaps him across the face. Chessman across the face, like, "Hey, Blue Demon isn't here. I'm here. Let's wrestle." And they just stopped. They just started wrestling.
That's awesome.
Like they just first within 3 minutes, Villano IV did a tope to the outside on Chessman, and then they brought in the chair, hit Villano IV across the head with the chair, blade job early in the match. Villano IV. Then Chessman does a blade job. But it's funny, Chessman's blade job was him bumping into the turnbuckle.
Oh, the hard way, huh?
No, him cutting himself.
On the turnbuckle. Oh, no way.
Him doing the cut, the kick, and then taking the bump because he was going to get hit with a chair afterwards.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He had to get blood before that. And then, they just got a lot of blood in the match. So they're bleeding throughout the whole thing. You see, it's funny, you see these guys brawling, and nearby you see, this dude with a towel cleaning up the blood. I'm like, dude, where the fuck? I'm just thinking, why are you cleaning the blood?
This sounds like a Monty Python sketch.
Yeah, so Villano IV, I mean, this was really good. It ends up with Chessman spearing Villano IV, and Villano IV selling a rib injury. And that was good. Then it came, I think after that, you see, while this is going on, they're setting up the cage. And on the side, they're bringing out the parts for the cage. Now, up next is the cage match. Cage match was all these weapons inside. It's a dome. So basically, remember the WWE rings when they had those big old holes? Didn't you think if a skinny guy could fit through that?
Yes.
A luchador could fit through that. So I'm watching this cage and I'm thinking, well, they have to climb up to the very top of the dome. It's like the TNA dome. I think you might have seen that one where they climb in.
I actually didn't see
There's
the
this
TNA
little
dome.
hole and they get out through there. And I'm thinking, okay, they're going to do that. That's the rule. They're not going to do anything to make it seem like they could get out through the middle or the bottom.
Right.
Because you could get out through there. So they go through this whole match. Everybody's climbing through the cage. Hamburger Boy, what they did to get him out, they had this really long ladder. He climbs up the ladder. They're holding the ladder for him so he could climb up. As he's on the dome cage. I understand because I would be scared shitless because that thing was pretty high.
Oh yeah.
So he's up there. So what they do is they send out all the baby faces to come out and help him get down. But it's not because it's part of the gimmick, him getting down. So he gets down like that. Everybody else is getting down. Everybody, as everything's going on, it's okay. Joe Leader sprains his ankle early on. He does a lot of crazy shit in the match. Pentagon Jr. is the guy you gotta watch in this match. This dude is fucking awesome in this match. He climbs the cage, and he decides he's gonna climb it. As he climbs it, first attempt, he falls off. The second attempt, they set up a ladder, and Steve Payne holds the ladder for him. And it's a flimsy ladder, but you see Steve Payne holding it. He does a great job of making it look like he's holding it really well.
Right.
Pentagon Jr. climbs the very top of it. He's holding his legs. He ties his leg on the bottom. On the dome, holds it, and then he does this spot where he's doing this, and then he slips off, pretends
oh my god,
he's pretending like he's gonna fall off. Just a great comedy spot. But he gets out. He gets out. Still fine. Phoenix and Steve Payne finish the match. Really good match. What they're doing out there. They do this spot where Phoenix is climbing out of the cage, but he's worn out. So Steve Payne throws this bucket at him, and as he throws it, he's waiting for Phoenix to fall off. But I guess he finally figured he's got to get him, so he grabs him and then power bombs him off the cage.
Wow!
So all this is going on. Steve Payne sets up this board on top of two chairs. AAA they don't have tables. They have boards.
Yes.
So they set up the board on two chairs, flimsy looking. Then he grabs lighter fluid, and then he sprays it on the board.
Yes.
Pentagon Jr.'s on the floor next to him. Gives him a lighter. He lights it up. It lights the very corner of the board. It doesn't light anything else.
Oh no way!
So then you see Pentagon Jr. Crawl back inside and throw more lighter fluid on there. And I'm like, dude, don't crawl into the cage. The whole gimmick is that these guys, you have to climb out.
You're desperate to get out of there,
yes,
and it's supposed to be difficult.
You just exposed the whole cage. So I'm thinking you could have just gotten out from the bottom. So then Steve Payne, instead of throwing Phoenix through, Phoenix does a Spanish fly. He falls on the table, doesn't land on the fire because the fire is way on the other side. It probably looked better in the arena, but on TV it just looked really hokey.
Boy.
It looked very hokey. But Phoenix does this dash to the top and ends up getting out. Steve Payne loses his hair. But that was actually I thought the end of it was really good, but it's just it's a hardcore match.
So what you saw of Rey de Reyes, would you give it a thumbs up or recommendation?
The tag match afterwards, which was pretty good too. So I would say it was pretty good. Like, because everybody says the first 5 matches were all, and the last 2 matches weren't great. Mm-hmm. So I would say it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like, I'm guessing Dos Leyendas was a lot better just because the main event.
Right.
And if the main event is good, usually that's what wins.
Yeah.
Out.
Yes.
But I thought it was better than, I've seen some other shows and sometimes it's just a mess. But the fact that the tag match was really good. The cage match at the end was really good. The beginning of it was really like just a garbage.
But what was necessary to get the show over on the whole?
I mean, it had good wrestling.
Yes.
It had good wrestling.
Very cool.
It wasn't that...
okay, I will check that out then.
You should watch... Definitely... Villano IV versus Chessman.
I do want to see that.
Good match
I've been intrigued by that ever since I read about that in the sheets.
That was good, so you should watch that.
Now, last night I saw the entirety of the Rush versus Shocker match.
Which I haven't watched.
How funny. Usually it's you who've seen it and... It's I who have not seen.
Well, I was watching AAA's. First of all, this is the other.
You were probably watching the AAA right when I was watching.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing with AAA. AAA usually post their videos on YouTube, and as I was looking for it on their page because I figure they're putting them up. I should promote their stuff because it's more likely that they're not going to get knocked off. So as I'm looking for part 1 of AAA's Rey de Reyes, I noticed that what's going on? It shrunk.
We're still watching
the video feed. Not anything else. I don't want to.
Oh dear, rumors are going to spread between us. Oh dear. Will Physico be the best man at our wedding?
So I'm looking for the part 1 of Rey de Reyes, and I can't find it. So I end up tweeting the Cubs fan like, "Hey, is it just me, or is Rey de Reyes part 1 missing?" He's like, "No, it's not on there." So then I tweet the webmaster. I go, is it? Where's Rey de Reyes part 1? He's like, it won't be available anymore.
Really?
On YouTube. So I'm guessing there must have been something on the video that
just didn't.
YouTube just couldn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't, or it might have not been YouTube. It might have been somebody else. Because I mean, it could have been something where they kind of got a legal issue or something.
That could be. That always could be.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Rush versus Shocker. I was, now there was that clip. That aired for a while after the show where it showed...
Cam?
Yeah, the fan cam.
Where the fan celebrates right afterwards.
Oh, it's hysterical. People, you should look for this clip of... It's somebody with a handheld who's watching the last 5 minutes of the Shocker versus Rush match. And when Rush wins, the fan goes crazy and starts waving his phone camera all over the place. So it feels like you're being thrown around the arena. But no, it was fun seeing the whole match. I gotta say... I mean, because remember around this time last year, it was Rush who took Terrible's hair.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that.
Not this time this year. It was like in September.
Was it in September?
But 2 years ago, I think.
God, time flies.
It was like 2 years ago.
Time flies. Wasn't that... Okay, that was on...
Costa's Blue Panther was a year ago.
Okay.
Around this time.
Because I remember it was the same show that Puma King and Ray Cornetta...
Yeah, that was... 2 years ago.
Wow, my sense of time is getting bad. I got to start writing things down.
Well, that's what I tell you when I do the LuchaWorld 100. I always plan on doing it like in February, and I end up doing it like I think most of the time I do it on April or May.
Right.
I think actually May is the month. But then like last year I did it like in September or October.
Oh, okay.
But it's because you just don't have time.
But that was that was like the first like match that supposedly was going to give Rush the boost.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, he went over and stuff, but I thought it kind of elevated Terrible a little more than him. Terrible looked almost like he was elated that he was getting his hair cut. Shocker put over Rush so thoroughly. It's the way somebody should put somebody over in...
Durantes is one of the judges.
Oh, check it out.
There's the parrot. En Busca de un Idolo just started. For those wondering, Kurt showed up late. I hope the parrot is a judge.
That's right.
We should probably pause this.
This is Wrestling with the Stars. Wrestling with the Stars.
Or I guess people don't mind if we talk while
yeah, well, but
look at Shocker's hair. I thought he lost his hair.
They can't see his hair, Fredo. Nobody can see his hair.
Look at his hair.
Yep.
Oh, Dragon Rojo's a judge. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Is that the Dragon Rojo? Oh my god, is he a judge?
Okay, you will edit this part out, won't you?
No, I'm gonna leave it.
Oh boy.
Oh, look at his hair.
Oh, how funny.
It's full. It's back.
Boy, he grows fast. Is he a chia pet? Shocker is a chia pet. No, but what I loved it is how Shocker totally sold it as a loss.
I love how the parrot's just...
And
have you been watching the parrot lately in CMLL?
Nope.
He just sits on the stairs.
Oh, is he worn out?
I think he's still. I think they're not letting him do anything anymore.
Oh, okay.
So he just sits in the stairs. He's just like sitting there, like
bad tidings.
I tell people, what is Dragon Roll? How is he going to judge these guys? He sucks. Although he had a good match, I shouldn't judge him.
It's like getting.
Like he's saying hi to.
It's like getting Ed Wood to be a judge at the Academy Awards.
He said hi to the parrot.
There he goes. He gets points for that. He does get points for that.
We should put audio on this so we could hear it.
Oh boy.
This is going to be like the show we're talking about. Oh, we better not play that.
Nope. But no. But this was a show that actually did, I think, elevate Rush. And like I was telling you, if I hadn't seen that last 5 minutes already, when he went home with that, what do you call that the pile driver pedigree or whatever it is. Yeah. I would have thought they would keep kicking out.
Driver?
The Rush driver, I love it. What a rush.
We just assumed, like, if it's a lucha move, we either go with the driver or special.
And what I dug...
And you just add the guy's name to it.
Yes.
So, like, if
it's the Rush driver.
The Rush driver, Ultimo Girl special. If it's a other move, it's the, like...
I kind of like What a Rush.
What a Rush.
That's what it is. So,
oh my goodness, Soberano Jr. versus Dragon Lee.
Might be sweet.
It might be a little bit of two similar guys.
Might be. Well, let's see. We'll be watching. You guys don't get to watch because you have to listen to us instead.
They are watching. They're not listening to us right now. they probably are going to listen to the show afterwards and realize that we were right about these guys.
Totally. But let me go home with what I was saying about...
It's your fault, Kurt, for sure.
Everything's my fault. Yeah, you're right.
You're
always the king. So anyways, Shocker took the first fall, and I don't know what you call this move, but it is a move that I've loved forever. The only thing I know is it's credited to Diablo Velasco, which means...
The Rainetta?
It's the one where with your left leg you hook it over the guy's neck, and the other one your right leg you hook it under his leg and you cradle him over.
Oh, okay.
I used to do a variation of it when I saw the Brazos do it once. They did it where they would twist the guy into a wrist lock.
Who did this, Shocker?
Shocker did it in the first fall. And then in the second fall, Rush beats him with the exact same move. And what I love, which I didn't notice on the fan cam, is when he beats Shocker in that third fall. Usually when there's an Apuestas matches, they look kind of drained or kind of like, oh, I won. It's like when he pinned Shocker, and after the 3 count, he just makes this wild look and sticks his tongue out.
Yeah, because it's his whole gimmick is that he's beating all these heroes of the fans.
And the heat was great.
Yeah, because
the crowd.
He's a dick. His whole gimmick is he's a dick.
And I love, nobody gets this. I love that they keep him a Technico. And I know how it befuddles everybody, but that's the key. They're going to keep booing him. If they make him a Rudo, it's going to kill the whole...
This is like Revolution Pro, remember? You know why I'm saying Revolution Pro, right? The skinny guys wrestling?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this is like watching Revolution Pro. Dragon Lee versus Soberano Jr.
Okay. And I wish some guys would stay this skinny in Lucha Libre.
Some of them do. Actually, most of them don't.
They don't, yeah, I know. That's something I do miss about Lucha. I do miss the weight classes. Things change, time evolves, but...
The thing is, like, these guys are a lot thin. Like, they're young guys, too, so they're going to grow.
Oh, I know, in a few years, but,
It's not...
Back in the 70s, like, people like Rosado... Rosado Ruiz would stay a flyweight.
Liz Mark Jr. posted a tweet of his son working out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
That was sweet.
I gotta turn up the audio for the judging, though.
Okay, well, then it might be a good time.
We might have to stop.
It might be a good time to conclude. Yeah. And
I'm going to watch Busca de Idolo.
And thank you for putting up with us this time, folks. Those of you who listened to the whole thing, thank you. Before we go, I really want to very quickly plug that Dan Fair and Danny Wolf and Joey Gaynor. Danny Wolf, he is now going to be Danny Wolf. John Lovett's ComedyClub.com. They have a new podcast that you can see. Go check it out.
It's a video cast.
It's a video cast, right. A video podcast designed by humans. Don't forget that. Designed by humans. Check it out. And
watch En Busca de un Idolo.
Yes.
Fridays and Tuesdays.
Parrots, parrots, parrots.
The parrot is a judge.
Parrots, parrots, parrots.
Oh, look at those.
We will be back soon with a much more sensical podcast. We promise.